My, oh my, oh my! Bitcoin up 10%. Chainlink up almost 14%. Dash doing a 30% move. Is this it? Is this the big turnaround? If you want to know the answer to that, you better watch this whole damn video. Good morning. My name is Sean Dexter and I welcome you to the Mango Grove for a daily analysis video. You guys may have figured it out. I am in a very good mood today. And believe it or not, it has nothing to do with the green we are seeing all over the market today. I'm just having a very good day outside of the markets. That being said, Bitcoin doing this move was a very good surprise, and I actually did take a long position of this. But keep in mind, guys, remember what I said yesterday. Every long position I do take is only going to be a very short-term move. I'm not looking to hold on to any longs. So to answer the question everybody's asking, is this the big turnaround? All these green percents over here, does it signify the bottom? In my opinion, no, not yet. We do not have enough information. The trend is still down, guys. And remember, we made a promise to start with this dashboard, this powerful Mango Research cryptocurrency trend analysis dashboard. Shout out to Moru. What a gem. The trend is saying down on almost everything, but we do have green on almost everything as well. So it is a bit confusing, right? We will address that in today's video. And what do you know, guys? XRP today is red. So yesterday everything was red and XRP was green. Today everything is green and XRP is red. So this is something to actually keep a note of. Let's follow up with this in the future. But look at Link doing a good 14%. We'll be looking into that. Look at Dash doing a good 30%. We'll be not looking into that. We don't have time to look at every freaking altcoin, guys. I mean, if you guys are a Dash fan, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what coins you guys want me to cover, and if there's enough time, if it's not a very low liquidity coin, if it's in the top 20, I'll cover it. Okay, just let me know in the comments down below. Whoever wins the vote wins the analysis. Okay, we'll be covering Ethereum. Sorry, not Ethereum, Bitcoin. I don't know why I said Ethereum. Perhaps you cover Ethereum. It's been a while since I looked at it. Okay, so Bitcoin doing a good 10% move, right? In fact, this was a very easy trade. Very easy trade, and we did talk about it in the Mango Grove, in the Mango Seed. I know a few of you in the Mango Seed did take this trade, and I know Sean Nevins was looking for a bounce. Sean Nevins, shout out to you, man. You're finally in the Mango Grove. Welcome to the community. I'm not sure whether you took the trade or not. I know you're looking for a bounce, and hey, what do you know? We got that bounce. So let's go on over to the charts over here, Bitcoin USD, and we are looking at the 1 hour right now. I shouldn't start with this. I do want to start off with the higher time frames, but this is what essentially I was playing. Yeah, Bitstamp, right? So this is essentially the trade I did take, and I didn't start off with the 1 hour. That's why I want to start off with the higher time frames. But I do want to show this to you guys. Let's hide the Mango ribbon right now for a quick second. It was a very clear symmetrical triangle, right? All you had to do was wait for either it to break to the upside or towards the downside. If we broke to the downside, we are looking at something like 4,800, 4,850. If we broke to the upside, I was actually looking for this to come all the way up to around 5,800. This may actually see further upside, and we may actually get all the way up to the measured move. The 200 weekly moving average is sitting somewhere around there too. We are seeing, we did break this 5,640 region over here, and we are seeing support of it on the 1 hour time frame. However, we did close rather the 12 hour. Wow, we just closed it 7 minutes ago. Man, time is flying today. What a good day I'm having. But yeah, I did take this trade. I am not in this trade anymore. I am actually considering, should I get a little greedy and play it off this now? I can literally enter. No, I don't want to do it. Not yet. So let's go on over to the 12. Okay, I'm going to be all over the place today. I'm sorry. I do want to go back over here and talk about this symmetrical triangle once more. When you see something like this, guys, we broke on over to the upside. We got the retest. The reason I'm saying this was an easy trade because there was so many signs saying that, hey, very likely to see the pop over. Usually when you see a break over here, you're kind of hesitant, right? Is this a real break or is this just a fake out? But on Bitstamp at the very least, and this is where I was playing it off, if you look at the 30-minute time frame, you look at that volume. Look at the volume volume on the break, guys, it was pretty significant, right? So that's where we broke right over here. It may not look like much. Let me go ahead and put a horizontal array right over here. Okay, it may not look like much at all, but these are the small signs that matter. This line over here, this horizontal breaking over here was very, very important, because this was the first 4-hour candle close. Okay, this is the first 4-hour candle close. We're going to go upwards. I wanted to actually go downwards from the daily to the 4-hour to the 1-hour, but let's go upwards. So we showed the 1-hour symmetrical triangle that broke to the upside with the volume confirmation on the 30-minute. Now I want to show you guys why that was so important, because on that break we had actually confirmed the first 4-hour candle close above this horizontal over here at 4,408. If you guys see, every 4-hour candle close for the longest time was getting rejected across that line, right? We had major resistance, so we finally broke it. We had the volume confirmation on the 30-minute too, and what do you see after that? Continuation. Now that's on the 4-hour, but the day started off beautifully, guys. If you look at the daily open of this of today's, it looks very, very strong right now, but look at where we closed yesterday, right? If we closed here yesterday, it means the daily opened somewhere around here, right? Exactly over there, actually. So we closed again very, very similar to the 4-hour candle. We closed above this major resistance line. We closed above these lines over here, which also lined up with what? It lined up with the weekly open. So this daily close was very, very, very important. That was your first big sign. And if you wanted to get a little bit cute, you could have waited for that pullback, which we got. I didn't. I actually took the trade. My first position was right on the daily close, and I played off the weekly open. Let's go on over to the 4-hour. I essentially got in at around 5,350-ish. Okay, I don't want to overthink it too much. I was like, okay, cool, I like this daily. And as soon as we closed over here, when this pulled back on me, I was tempted to add, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to add. I want to see a little bit more confirmation before I add. Then we closed this over here, and that's when I added to my position. And what do you know, we're seeing that continuation on over to the upside, and going on over to the 1-hour, we are actually seeing this maybe perhaps getting all the way up to this 200 exponential moving average. What I'm really interested in seeing is if we can pressure these stop losses above this wick over here. If we can trigger all of these stops over here, because I'm pretty sure there's stops over here, I'm pretty sure there's stops over here, we are going to see some explosive move. And by the way, I do want to remind you guys that we alluded to this move in yesterday's video. We talked about this very concept where we said, hey, the shorts are going to be under a lot of pressure. If we start seeing these wicks get taken out. This wick over here, this wick over here, and that's exactly why we got this big green candle, and that's precisely what we talked about in yesterday's video. I was trying to explain to you guys that, hey, when we have stops over here, okay, oops, let me go ahead and thin that out a little bit. If someone is putting their stop over here, and a bunch of other people are putting their stops over here, and then those stops get triggered, what happens? They are buying back into the market, right, guys? So they are applying buy pressure at perhaps a higher price to get out of their positions. They are covering their positions. So just by the nature of traders covering their positions, you may see a big candle like this. And now, even in traditional markets, guys, we are seeing SPY have moves to the downside, but no follow through. When you see things like this happen day after day after day, what happens? Shorts start feeling the pressure to get out of their positions, and when they decide, you know what, we're not seeing follow through, whether it be here, whether it be here, if they don't see follow through, you don't even need buyers to step in and buy. The shorters alone are going to be like, you know what, we have a lot of profits. We are in this trade from way up over here at around 8,000, 7,000, whatever it might be. They don't want to risk it anymore. They want to risk their profits. What do? They start covering their positions, right? When they cover their positions, they act as buyers. That's what people need to understand. You don't need new buyers to enter the market to see a rally. Where am I going with this? This is what people mean by bearish rally sometimes, or at least that's what I think they mean. I don't get too much into the nitty-gritty of all these technical terms. It's the psychology of the market that matters. And what's the psychology over here? We could very well see moves towards the upside just by the nature of shorts beginning to cover their positions. And these kind of candles gives me that kind of confirmation in that, hey, you know what, Sean, your thesis was right. We are not seeing follow through towards the downside. A lot of people are looking for that follow through to the downside, but what do we see? The bounces were getting higher and higher, uncomfortably so, right, for the short positions. At one point, they're like, you know what, on the next move down, I am going to be taking my profits. And what do? They add pressure towards the upside. And in the same regard, anybody who has buy stops over here, buy stops over here, and buy stops over here, they are going to be adding buy pressure towards the upside, either to simply get out of their position. But in these scenarios over here, guys, you're probably also going to have breakout buyers entering the market. So these wicks, taking out these wicks, is likely going to have some F reaction, okay? It could be liquidity hunts, or it could cause a massive move towards the upside. And what does all of that line up with, guys? That lines up with my thesis ever since the beginning, ever since this dump to the downside, where we were looking at around 6,500, perhaps even 6,900, all the way to the upside over here. So we may actually see that explosive move all the way up to 6,500, a move that a lot of people had kind of counted out. A lot of people, I'm pretty sure, got shook out over here, got out of their positions. I know some big players who decided, you know what, F it, I'm getting out. And when I say big players, I'm talking about players with a big stash, and they got out of the market over here, and they're feeling the pressure too now, right? So think about the psychology of everything that is going on now. Even those guys are going to be like, you know what, I can't deal with this. I don't want to risk losing all my BTC. What if BTC simply moons on over to the upside and never comes back down over here? I would have sold at the very bottom. I don't want to be those guys. I don't want to be the guy who sold at the bottom. All these thoughts are entering the market participants. And guys, trading, there's so much psychology to it, okay? And you got to think about the psychology. It's why even in the Mango Seed program, I start with the reality of markets module, right? And then we go into order flow and institutional thinking, and how you need to be thinking about what institutionals are thinking, and all of that. It's not as straightforward as just drawing lines. A lot of people who initially joined the Mango Seed program, they were wondering, why isn't Sean starting with indicators, blah blah blah? In fact, like, indicators is the last thing you need to study. There's so much more to it before that. Okay, so going back to what we were saying, I'm just really excited. Again, it's not only because of the markets, it's because of other things. Okay, so Bitcoin, wow, sitting at 5,800. You could say that this is pretty much a test of the 200 exponential moving average already. Let's go ahead and look at the weekly 200 exponential moving average. Actually, turn on the Ichimoku. I do have it over there, and yep, right over there. It's pretty much right over there, guys. Right over there. Let's get the actual number. It's sitting at 5,874. So yeah, we pretty much hit it. So this is a test of the weekly 200 exponential moving average. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some pressure right over here as well, but I do want to really point this out. Let's go ahead and turn everything else off. By the way, guys, the Mango ribbon, completely free. You'll find a link down below in the description to get access. I'm going to turn off everything except oh, and those of you who have the old version of the Mango ribbon, make sure that you refresh it. I have updated it in that it's a lot cleaner now. You can click show cloud on and off, and it will turn off. But I've also added show EMAs and show MAs, so you can turn off all your EMAs if you want to. You can turn off all your moving averages if you want to. So yeah, just go ahead and make sure that you refresh it. If you're using an indicator template, make sure you're using the newest version of the Mango ribbon. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to turn off everything except we don't even want to show the cloud, and you turn off the horizontals too. Okay, so remember what we were talking about when we had this major dump? Everybody was like, okay, that's it. We lost the weekly 200 moving average. That's it. We are going to zero. And what do we say over here at Mango? We're like, nope. Let's be a little bit more patient to see what may happen. If you do want to be getting out of the markets, you may have a better opportunity to. And everybody was alluding or talking about the fact that we've never ever lost a 200 weekly moving average, right? All they were doing was looking at it through a zoomed out picture, while looking at this in a zoomed in picture. And that's not fair. Why don't people come over here and zoom in, and you will see that we have lost the weekly 200 moving average in the past. Right over here, we closed underneath, and then we took it on over to the upside. Now, one argument could be that, hey, we did not have enough price history to make this count. Well, then if we did not have enough price history to make it count, we never ever came close enough to it before in the past for it to really matter. All we did was test it twice then, right? So there's not enough history to even make a big claim like we've lost the weekly 200 moving average, it's over, we're going to zero. Now, I'm not saying that because of what happened over here, this is bullish. All I'm saying is, don't fall in for those narratives, guys. Like, do a little bit of your own research and look into things yourself, and try and think about the psychology of everything that is happening. So if you do want to buy into the narrative that, hey, this is very similar to that, well, what happened over here? We lost the weekly 200 moving average, and we came and retested with this major wick, and it ended up pretty much being the bottom. end up being a higher low compared to this over here, which is very similar to what we're doing now. If the current price action ends up being the low, guys, what's going to end up happening is this is going to be a higher low compared to these lows over here at around 3,100. Also, what do we do over here? We put an M-like formation where we put a higher candle close on the weekly time frame and then dumped on over to the downside. What did we do over here? Put a higher close on an M-like formation, not a perfect M-like formation, nor was our M-like formation. It's psychology that matters. Put in an M-like formation, 2 mountains, and dumped on over to the weekly 200 moving average, closed underneath, and then rallied on over to the upside. Now, I'm not saying we're going to rally on over to the upside over here, and even if we do, I don't think it's going to happen right away, which lines up with me believing that these rallies are going to be sold into. The question is, where do we stop? Do we stop right over here, or do we get all the way up to 6,500, perhaps even 6,900? These horizontals right over here on the weekly time frame. In fact, I could make a thesis for perhaps even 7,100, but I don't want to get into too much hopium just yet. Okay, we can take it one step at a time and then look at the lower time frames. Currently, the reason I'm looking at 6,500, 6,900 is because let's take it one step at a time. Let's go on over to the 4-hour time frame. We are looking at Bitstamp. Yes, okay, Bitstamp. So people were probably looking at, is this the 12 hours what I do want to start with? But people are probably looking at this like as a inverted head and shoulders. I think Krisha confirmed that this might be a inverted head and shoulders. I don't know. You could look at this as a formation that has already broken up to the top side. Cup and handle. Someone said cup and handle. I'm not seeing it, guys. Maybe I'm just so bad in patterns. I don't care. The structure has broken though to the upside, right? The 4-hour trend is no longer trending towards the downside. We have broken the 4-hour downtrend, but we have not yet confirmed an uptrend. So to get an uptrend, it may line up with a retest of this neckline of the cup and handle or head and shoulders or whatever the hell you want to call it. Doesn't matter what the name of the pattern is to me. Don't PM me and say, Sean, that is not a head and shoulders, that's a cup and handle, man. I don't care, man. I don't care. It's the structure that matters, and in time you will know that that's what matters too, and you will agree with me. Okay, just give it some time. Okay, so we may retest this neckline over here and then confirm a 4-hour uptrend by breaking these highs over here. That lines up with what? The 200 exponential moving average. So even on first pass of the weekly 200 exponential, it is a sell, and I may have to pause the video over here and take that trade very quickly. Okay, so I just set my alerts. Let's get back to what we were talking about, and we are looking at the structure over here, and in a way you could look at this as even a freaking falling, broadening wedge. Just so many patterns over here, right? This is why I don't really get too caught up in all of that. If you look at the 12-hour though, and this is what we've been looking at, right, for the longest time now, ever since we confirmed that bullish divergence, I've taken a short play from around 5,240-ish. Andrew, again, I'm so salty that he caught it and I didn't. Landing it all the way from over here, 5,900. Did he play it all the way to the bottom over here? Andrew, let me know, so I'll give you another shout out. I'm so proud of you, man. Good job. I took the trade somewhere around here, 5,300, 5,200-ish. The wine called it right over here. I was playing it all the way for 4,200, but we didn't get that. That should have been the first sign that, hey, we might actually see a bounce to the upside, because we would be, by the nature of it, by what we talked about in the video when the candle was somewhere around here, we said, hey, we might be putting in 12-hour bullish divergence that lines up with daily bullish divergence that lines up with even 4-hour bullish divergence, right? And that's where we confirmed it. As soon as we confirmed this as a low, when we put in this candle, it was mega confirmed. We were looking for a bounce towards the upside, at least to the 12-hour 21 EMA. I wonder if we got there. Where is the 12-hour 21 EMA? Not there just yet. It's right over here with lining up with the Tenkin. Okay, so we may see a test of that. Bitcoin does look like it wants to get all the way there, and I will be looking to try for a trade over there. I may be wrong. We may see that explosive move. In fact, that is actually scary. But I actually have to think about it. Because this Tenkin and 21 EMA is above these wicks over here. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of stops over there. So we may see a spill on over almost immediately towards this green zone over here. And that's where I really want to look for a trade, guys. So I may hold off. I may be patient and look for a trade over here. So yeah, there's a measured move for this formation. If you're looking at this as a, whatever you want to look at this as. Where does it point on to? Oh, wow. Perfectly. Wow, technical analysis sometimes is it's gorgeous, man. It's just gorgeous the way it all lines up. So I do think that if I don't end up waiting for this move over here and we actually do get all the way up there, I will hate myself. I'll be like, Sean, all you have to do was be a little bit more patient and you would have got a really good trade. to be honest, we may come all the way up to 6,800, 6,900, right? It does line up with these guys over here on the daily time frame. On the 12-hour, not so much. So on the daily time frame, looking at these guys over here and these guys over here, right? So a lot of confluence with the zone, a lot of confluence. We also have the daily 21 EMA, we also have the daily 10K. Right now we are testing the daily 10 SMA. So do we see a rejection over here? There's a lot of pressure. It doesn't make it easy at all. I do think we're going to make our way all the way over here, but at the same time, trying for a trade somewhere around here is not a bad idea at all. But we are getting an up thrust from a major move towards the downside, so a lot of positions will be covering. So think about the psychology. You're also going to have a lot of FOMO buyers entering the market right now. Not an easy decision at all, not an easy decision, but I do think at least on first pass we will see a rejection, so a pullback, and that will give us enough time to decide whether we want to stay in the position or not. All right, so I do want to wrap up the video very quickly so I could get back on over to my trading, and we are seeing that pullback right now. If we confirm the daily above the 10 SMA, by the way, I really do think that we're going to make our way all the way up to the 10K. So we talked about the daily, we talked about the 12-hour. Daily also had bullish divergence, and yeah, pretty much as soon as we wicked above here, confirmed that as well, and seeing that follow through to the upside. Do we actually make our way all the way to the daily 21 EMA? Actually, that does line up with what, guys? Our green zone over here. So much telling us that we may get over here. Where's the 12 or 21 as well? 12 or 21 right over there too. So yep. Okay, so we were prepared for this move. So over here, the Mango Grove, nobody should be surprised, nobody should be scrambling to get out of the short positions at all. We were talking about this yesterday. We were talking about the 12-hour bullish divergence, daily bullish divergence a few days ago now, and it's all playing out now. It's all playing out. All we have to do now is be patient and get ready for a nice position. Okay, so we'll be patient. All right, so now I do want to talk about the monthly time frame before we move on over to Chainlink. And the monthly over here, guys, it's telling a story. This wick over here is going to be deemed a bull wick. If we close anywhere above 6,200, it's going to look like a bull wick. But this is what I'm really eyeing. Okay, it's still going to be very bearish if we close above 6,200, but if we close above 7,200, okay, and we have 10 days, Bitcoin can do a lot in 10 days. Moving up $1,000 is, would that surprise you? If it gets to 6,200, I mean, it's almost there. It's currently sitting at 5,900. Okay, I'll have to wrap up this video very quickly. So if Bitcoin can close above this monthly 21 EMA, that is going to be insane. That's going to change everything, and that's when I get bullish. If you can defend the 21 EMA on this monthly time frame, we have around 11-12 days before we actually can do that. Let's see if Bitcoin can do that. Let's go on to the daily time frame. And okay, the first big step would be confirming candles above, confirming some wicks above 6,000-ish. If you can confirm a daily close above 5,633, I really think that we're going to go over to 6,500. We already talked about that. But then the next big step is to be confirming a higher low and a higher high, testing the key zone again. We would then have daily uptrend. But the question is, can we start putting in a weekly uptrend? If this week confirms above the 200 moving average, and at the moment, it's living above it, guys. The weekly 200 moving average, it's living above it. So much for the death sentence, eh? We're going to zero, Sean. We're going to zero. Man. So I do want to show you guys what happened over here, but do not for a second think that just because it happened over here, it's going to happen over there. That's not how it works. But we did lose the 200 weekly moving average, and then we had a nice bull wick, closed above it, lost it again, close. I'm expecting something similar. I'm leaning towards that happening, having a sell-off. The question is, when do we see that sell-off? There's going to be a lot of pressure now on the shorts, guys, and then it's up to the bulls to hold the price up. So it's not going to be easy. Either way, it's not going to be easy. We'll be taking it one step at a time. I'll be updating you on what happens in tomorrow's video, of course. For now, let's move on over to Chainlink. What's the link doing? Link is we talked about on the Mango dashboard, right? What did it pump? 13.78%, almost 14%. So going over to link USD, Coinbase started. Whoa, man, what a weekly candle. So that weekly candle is looking really good. Turn on our horizontals, and no, I was really hoping that we were all the way up to our blue box territory. We're not there yet. So the first step is to close the daily above this horizontal over here at $2.18. If you can close about $2.80, is that right, by the way? Can we adjust it a little bit? Look at these guys over here. I might be being too strict or too lenient. I'm not entirely sure. Let's clear everything out. Let's go ahead and actually be a little bit safe with this. Okay, let's mark this out as a zone. This is not easy at all. Yeah, I do remember us talking about these guys over here too. So yeah, I do think it's safe to say, yep, it does line up with this wick too. So I wasn't even looking at this wick over here, guys, when I adjusted this, and it does line up. So it's safe to say that we can look at this as a zone. We want Chainlink to close above the zone over here, and this is a daily level. So we can go ahead and change the color just so that I don't mix it up in the future. Let's use the yellow. Oops, that's not it. That's it. Okay, so we want a link to close a daily above here. Do we do that? But if you guys do remember, we talked about exactly this move in yesterday's video, right? We were looking at the 4 hour and said, the first step would be for link to confirm a high above these wicks over here, then put in a high low in the middle of the range over here, testing the top of these candle closes right over here at $2.05. Perhaps we actually get that test and then break this yellow horizontal. It wasn't a zone yesterday, it was just a horizontal, and we are closing underneath that right now. Then break it on over to the upside and test this blue box territory over here, which would line up with what? With us getting a test of this blue box territory towards the end of the week, right? So if you have to draw it out, we are looking for something like this, making a higher low, testing this region over here, putting in a higher high compared to this high over here, perhaps just giving a retest and then going on over to test this weekly. Okay, now you guys should not be trading like this. Remember, do not ever trade for exactly something like this, but you can keep this image in your mind so that when the moves happen, you are not like, thrown off. When the pullbacks happen, you're ready to either add to your position, or you're just like calm. You're like, okay, this is expected. Okay, it's just another higher low. So that's how I like to trade, guys, but I do not trade for this, right? I do not trade for the exact position. It's just to keep ready to be mentally prepared for the move. Okay, so yeah, link, it may pull through, we are breaking over this formation as well. If we do actually, yeah, we've confirmed over there, right? So we may have a measured move right over there. Let's go ahead and let's be a little aggressive with this. Okay, this is basically your double bottom Adam and Eve formation, your Adam and that's your Eve, and we are using the Adam for our neckline break, and it's actually lining up with the test of this blue box territory. So hey, perhaps you do get there. It doesn't need to happen right away. Think about it. We can very well come test the neckline again. Now this is actually lining up with the neckline even more so, right? If you put a neckline right over there, this green horizontal of this Adam and Eve, we may get a retest of around $2.06, $2.05. Break on a test again, this yellow box territory. Do we break it though? That's what I'd like to see. Let's go ahead and look at the 4 hour oscillators. Let's hide everything over here. Give me a second. Yeah, this is looking pretty healthy. So perhaps we actually do that. Let's look at the 12 hours, see what's going on over there. 12 hour 20. Okay, so this is lining up. Did we have bullish divergence? We had bullish divergence. Okay, so this is lining up. I think we're going to test this blue zone right over here, and we may actually do it exactly the way we discussed on the 4 hour time frame, where we come down, test this green horizontal over here, and then make our way to test the blue box territory here, which lines up with what? The 21 EMA on the 12 hour. We also have 12 hour Stokes crossing on over to the upside. We also have bullish divergence on the 12 hours. So there's something to be had here. There's definitely something to be had over here. So that's Link USD. Let's go ahead and look at Link BTC. I don't think we checked Link BTC last time. Let's go back on over to the Mango Research dashboard. I do want to check how Link BTC is performing against Link USD, and right over there, Link BTC is actually up. It's up 4.4%, and Link USD is up 13.78%, right? So just by looking at this, you will know that hey, BTC is up only 9%, while Link is outperforming, right? That's essentially what the Link BTC pairing is telling you. So yeah, that's good. Let's go back onto the chart, and hey, BTC popping over 5,865. I'll go. Link seeing a rejection right over here on the Bitcoin pairing, just as this probably just happened. Let's go on over to the 1 minute chart. Actually, probably just happened because no, it didn't actually. What do we have over here on the 1 minute chart? Do not look at the 1 minute chart, guys. That's bad habits. Look at the 15 minute chart. No, do not look at the 15 minute chart either. Okay, so right over there, it happened around half an hour ago. Link BTC testing this neckline right over here. If you can close a daily above this neckline right over here, let me adjust it slightly. I do want to get back on with the Bitcoin chart very quickly. 5,900 almost now. If you can close right over here, guys, I do think we're going to test the 21 EMA at the very least. Let's turn on the Ichimoku. This is the daily stochastics are crossing on over to the upside as well. Let's turn on the Mango ribbon right over here first. And what do we have over here? Kijun and 21 EMA coming right over there as well. 10 SMA moving down aggressively, so perhaps a initial rejection of the 10 SMA, come down, put in a higher low on the weekly, on the daily time frame, and then try for a higher high. Let's go ahead and look at the 4-hour time frame once more. Have we changed trend? We have broken the downtrend, but we haven't confirmed an uptrend just yet. For me to see an uptrend or confirm an uptrend, I'd like to see a high low somewhere around here perhaps, and then a high above this wick over here. Okay, but that's Chainlink Bitcoin. You guys are more concerned with Chainlink USD, and Chainlink USD is the cleaner chart to be playing right now. Let's go ahead and look at the weekly time frame. I do think that yeah, the Chainlink on the weekly on the Bitcoin pairing is looking so beautiful. Let me turn off the mango ribbon, turn on our horizontals, and we are still living above this major ascending triangle that we broke on 0.3 upside, that we were looking for a 100% move on, right? And we got that move. What was it, 110% or something like that? All the way from this, we had a cup and handle, and then we had a beautiful symmetrical triangle, or was it an ascending triangle within this massive ascending triangle or rising wedge, whatever you want to call it. And Link has been holding that ever since we had this dump, so very impressive. Let's go on over to Bitcoin right now quickly. And by the way, a lot of people I'm not sure if they did, could have been looking at this as an ascending formation. I know it wouldn't have been fair to say so, because why not, actually? Why not, right? Everybody was looking at this as a descending triangle, and that bias actually worked against them, because we do have high candle closes and we do have higher highs over here, higher lows over here on the bottoms, right? So why not an ascending triangle? And this is breaking on over to the upside. If we break, I believe, this neckline that we have already broken, you could even use this as a diagonal. This is what Krisha would be doing, I do believe. You guys know I'm not a big fan of patterns, but we do have this psychology going on over here, right? Higher lows on candle closes as well as candle wicks on the bottoms over here on the lows, and now we have high highs on the tops as well. So this is looking pretty good. As soon as we wick about this right over here at around 5,962, there would be no doubt at all that, hey, this is going further towards the upside. So let's go ahead and confirm that measured move. What would it be, since we broke out from somewhere around here? If you're looking at this as a symmetrical triangle, the measured move would be 6,800, and this is how I believe Krisha came up with the 7,000 level, 6,936. So I'll have to talk to Krisha. I do think she got 7,200 somehow. Okay, so we do have the 4-hour 200 exponential moving average coming in at 7,600. Let's go ahead and look at the Ichimoku on the 4-hour 200 moving average right over here at 8,200. Kijun resistance currently as well. So we have the daily the weekly 200 exponential moving average here, the 4-hour Kijun over here as well. We have these major wicks over here too that will prove as resistance. Have we cleared this wick over here? Yeah, we've cleared that wick over there. So there's going to be pressure. Question is, can we even break over the cloud? Breaking over the cloud will get me looking all the way up to 8,200. But by the time that happens, actually, the 200 moving average is likely going to come down lower. Where's the 200 exponential moving average? That's a 21. 200 exponential. Okay, so first target would be the 200 exponential moving average on the 4-hour time frame. Lines up with 7,600 as well. We can look at the daily again. And top of the cloud, do we get all the way up there? That's ridiculous. For now, first target would be the Tenkin coming in at around 6,450-ish. Next target would be 21 EMA and the Kijun coming in at 7,200. Perhaps that's what she was looking at, the Kijun. Again, I'll have to confirm with her. All right, so before we wrap up, I do want to talk about traditional markets as well. I have been following this very closely because, hey, there's massive correlation. But what is really interesting, and we talked about this in yesterday's video, and we're seeing it yet again. We are seeing the lows being taken out, but bulls stepping in and buying it all back up. So instead of seeing bear follow through, yesterday, yes, we did see some follow through. SPY opened down, but we took out the lows and then we just got bought back up. We went all the way up to 247. Yes, we aren't really putting in any trend changes, not even on the 4-hour. I don't think so at the very least. It just looks, does this not look like a falling wedge? Now, I'm not saying this is going to break up to the upside. I don't even play patterns that much, but this we're not seeing the follow through. We're not seeing the kind of follow through that you would expect in the bearish doomsday scenario, right? I do know that a lot of big players are going to start covering their positions. Players that have been taking their short positions all the way since above over here. Hey, the Mango Vine, by the way, nailed this. The Mango Vine not only nailed this call, by the way, we called this, right? We were looking at when the Mango Vine gave the call, we said, hey, Mango Vine has just given the call. We're going to look for that move towards the Tenkin Kijun, and that would be a short opportunity. Did we play it? No, we did not play it. But I do want to emphasize that even though I'm looking for bounces on traditional markets, on Bitcoin as well, I am not leaning towards a trend change just yet. I do want to see a few other things take place, and we'll be talking about that in the upcoming videos throughout the week. But for now, hey, the trend is still down on SPY. The trend is still down on Bitcoin as well. Until we see, to be honest, you'd want to look for a weekly trend change for Bitcoin. But usually when you do wait for that, Bitcoin has moved way too much towards the upside already, and you missed your opportunity. So at the very least, wait for confirmation on a daily uptrend, and when we get that, we get those easy stress-free mango trades, man. Easy trades. All right, so with that being said, my name is Sean Dexter. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Throw a like, throw a subscribe, trade safely, trade stress-free, do it the mango way. Ciao.